afternoon, everyone. My name is Sellina. So today I will talk about me and my culture. So today the culture that I will take, the name is Kepun or Kepunan. And this culture is from Bangka Belitung. So I will start first with the definition of Kepun or Kepunan. So Kepun or Kepunan here is a superstition that people in Bangka Belitung, so it is include Pangkal Pinang also, but I will focus more on the Pangkal Pinang because it is the place where I was born. We as Bangka people believe that if a guest comes to other people's houses and the owner of the house offer foods or drinks to the guest, but the guest refuse the food and drinks, we believe that the guest will get a bad luck or an accident, and that bad luck or accident we call it as Kepun or Kepunan. So because it is a bad luck, there must be a way to cancel this by doing malet or palet. So what is malet or palet? Malet or palet here is when a guest put a bit of food or a drop of the drink like this, and then they put it into their lip or their tongue, at least they touch it like this, and the Kepun or Kepunan will be cancelled. We believe it like that. And then Kepun or Kepunan here has some levels that we believe, and then the highest level is coffee. So if a guest got over from the owner of the house, so let's drink some coffee first, and it's better for the guest to not refuse it because we believe that if the guest refuse it, it will have more higher chance to the guest get that bad luck or the accident. We believe it like that. And then next, for the history of Kepun or Kepunan. So the name Kepun or Kepunan here starts from the word Kepun. The pun here comes from the Sanskrit language, which is Da Pun Tahyang, that means the Most High. And I think the Most High here is God. So Kepun or Kepunan here is the Most High will be angry because we refuse sustenance in the form of food and drinks that other people have given us. So maybe you wonder why this culture can be believed. So in ancient times or in the past, people in Bangka Belitung always offer foods or drinks to their guests, and maybe there are some moments when the guests don't want to eat or drink anything, or maybe they are full, or maybe the food and drinks are too much, and the owner of the house will say like, if you refuse these foods or drinks, you will get a bad luck or an accident when you leave this house. And we believe it like that. And we already know the definition of it, the history of Kepun and Kepunan also, and there must be a value also because it is a culture. First, it is for etiquette and manners. So this culture, it is a way for us as a Bangka people to show politeness and respect to other people. So if a guest offer foods and drinks to other people, to the guests, it means that the owner of the house respect and polite with the guests. And it also the same if the guests accept the food and drinks that the owner of the house offer, it means that the guests respect and polite with the owner of the house. So especially Indonesian people, it is very usual, it is very normal to giving foods and drinks when guests comes to their house, and it is also one way for Indonesian people to show etiquette and manners in Indonesia. And also next, it can offend the owner of the house. So the case is, if the owner of the house offering the guests foods or drinks and the guest refuse to eat or drink, it might be considered that the guest is humiliating the owner of the house. And then after that, if a bad prayer passing by like this from the head of the owner of the house, that bad prayer can be happen to the guests. There is the logic of this culture. Alright, so I will share my personal opinion about this culture because I am from these places too. I think it's very interesting. This culture is very interesting. From its history, I know now why the name is Kepun or Kepunan. And also fun fact, this culture is still believed for half of the Bangka people, included my place Bangka Belitung. And another fun fact, my family still do this culture until now. And then I also think about what other people from other countries will think about this culture. Well, if I can guess, they will think that this is weird culture or not make sense, because how can you connect between refusing foods and drinks and with bad luck or accident? I think for logic it's not connect to each other, but maybe some of them will think it is unique at the same time. And surprisingly, from the references that I read and watched before, people that come to Bangka Belitung believe this culture. I think it's a very surprising fact for me. And also I like how people from Bangka Belitung, from my place Bangka Pinang, make their people stay polite and respect each other by making this culture. And I think it's a very unique way to do it, and it also becomes a good habit for the people itself. But of course, there's something that I don't like about this culture, is when the owner of the house scared the guests by saying, if you refuse these foods and drinks, you will get an accident or bad luck when you leave this house. I think it's not a really good thing to do. It also not polite, I think, because it's their right, it's the guest's right to choose they want to eat or drink or not. Okay, so I think that's all from my sharing. So you can see the references that I use here. Okay, so I think that's all from my sharing. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoy.